Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking all about the new free-to-play experience in Overwatch 2. Before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, turn those notifications on, sure to be ready for streaming coming every weekend. So I'll be mainly streaming Overwatch 2. It's the hot game right now, so we're just going to get straight into it. And so I've spent a few hours on this game now, and yeah, after a week or so of playing, just want to share some thoughts about the game and if it's a dub or an L for Blizzard. So the overall style of the game hasn't really changed that much, apart from just adding a more modern look to the game from Blizzard, keeping most of the game modes there and the maps as well, with the addition of a few new locations, just Canada and Brazil, which is obviously great, and being able to incorporate places from around the world is something really to look forward to. They've also added a new game mode called Push, where you basically capture a bot and then you're pushing a bot and trying to get it further than the enemy team. And obviously if the team recapture it, the bots runs the other way, so there's that time delay there that needs to get back to your side. But apart from that, as soon as you get past the 7 point, you basically get a much more forward spawn point, which is good. So for the attacking team, you've got the advantage there. And the whole game mode, I've been playing it non-stop, and it's just been really fun, most importantly. So definitely the most exciting thing that they added this year is what people love about Overwatch, and it's the new heroes. So there's been a new hero for each of the three classes, so a tank, attack, and a support hero. So firstly, we'll go through them quickly. We've got Junker Queen as the new tank. So she has a more of a slim model compared to the other tanks, which makes her quite hard to hit. And her abilities basically include, got a 6-round shotgun to begin with, so it's quite close range. You have to get nice and personal with her. She also got a Jagger Blade or Gracie, and that basically shoots forward, and if it hits an enemy, does damage over time. But even if it doesn't and it gets past them, if you retract it back, if it goes through them, it will still do damage then. So it's quite powerful there. And also if it does hit an enemy, and when you retract it, it does pull the enemy closer to yourself, and that is nicely comboed with the Carnage ability. And it's basically her blade on her back, and you're able to slash enemies close range, and that also does 150 damage, but also damage over time as well. To kind of get out of danger quickly and boost her teammates, she also has the Shout ability, which gives you a speed boost and a temporary health boost. And then lastly, obviously her ultimate is Rampage, so she gets out her massive guitar looking thing from her back and basically lashes forward, and has a similar effect to Anna's nade, where all the enemies in that line as she goes through are antied, so they can't be healed. And it can be quite powerful when comboed with some other abilities. Next we've got Soldier. So I'm not really an attack hero, but she does seem quite powerful. That I've seen a lot of people play her, and she kind of seems like a buffed up soldier in a way. So I think a lot of soldier players there will kind of look at her as a substitute in a sense. So firstly, she's got her slide ability, and basically allows her to slide, and then at the end of that animation allows her to kind of jump, same way as Baptiste, kind of with the power boots there. She has a railgun as her main, so I think it holds like 30-45 rounds, and then as the more hits you get, you power up that railgun, and her right click is basically a powered up shot, so if you hit a headshot it can kill most 200 HP heroes, so kind of aiming for those support. She also has a kind of a charge ability, where if you kind of fling it forward, it does like an area of effect kind of damage. It also pulls enemies in and slows them down, so it allows you to hit those shots easier. And then finally her ultimate basically allows her to power up her railgun quicker, allowing to do more of those powered up shots. So quite powerful there. Lastly, we'll go to my favorite hero, the support, which is Kiriko. So she's part of the Shimada clan, the same as Genji and Hanzo, so she has a passive wall climb ability firstly. Her main healing is the healing of Fudo, which are set out in pairs, and they do healing over time as soon as they travel to the target, so you have to keep that in mind, that it will take a bit of time to travel. And her main weapons is the kunai, so they are very powerful. So you send out one by one, and if you hit the head, it's 120 crit damage, so it's quite mad. So you pretty much can two-shot most 200 HP heroes. They don't lose any speed when they travel, so no matter how far the enemy is, so you can easily out-snipe a Widow if you just land 2 kunai, and that is very satisfying, I have to say. Her abilities include teleport abilities, so in a 35-meter radius you're able to teleport to your tanks or whatever to try save them, and that's partnered with her healing Suzu, which basically means you kind of enter a wraith form for about a second, so a Reinhardt will be able to charge right through you and you can't die for that period of time. So it is quite powerful, but obviously it doesn't last very long, so you have to be very good with your timing. And her ultimate is very powerful at the moment, will probably get nerfed, but it's the Katsune Rush, which basically involves putting like a stream of a fox basically travels through, and it has a kind of 10 maybe 20 meter radius, and everybody in that kind of column in front of you has a damage reduced, ability cooldown reduced, speed boost and damage boost, so it's a mad one. Definitely will get nerfed, but very powerful at the moment. Partnering that with like a Zarya ult where you're able to boost and then you just hit those crits with Kiriko is very mad right now. So I've been playing her quite a lot, trying to master her because she comes out in competitive soon, after her nerfs obviously, and yeah, so she's been my favourite and I've been really enjoyed playing her. So yeah, she does seem to be quite a complex character, so it will definitely take time to master. I'm not quite sure what to think about the new rank system. I think it's better because you don't have the kind of the negative effect of you adjusting your elo every game, whether it's a win, loss, draw. So how it works now is instead of your elo you have like tier based system, so you start off with bronze 5 and then you work your way up, bronze 4, whatever, and then after bronze 1 you hit gold 5 and from then on. And the rank is updated every 7 wins or every 20 losses, whichever comes first. And it's much better to see kind of how far you are from the next rank by looking at your wins, so you get an update every time you win, how many you won in a row, whatever. So I think yeah, it's definitely better. It keeps you more motivated to keep playing rather than having your elo adjusted every game. That doesn't really mean that much. So I think yeah, it's good there and it's good for new players. So obviously they need to win 50 unranked games, which I also think is good, because kind of old players like me don't want to be queued up in competitive or with someone who's never played the game before this. So I still don't really know how I feel about removing one of the tanks. I always enjoyed playing the kind of off tank role, so playing as Roadhog, something like that. So if we have like a Ryan that can tank up all the damage and then I can just sneak in the back, try get a hook off, get an early kill and then heal, get out of there. But now obviously there's only one tank, so you do really have to stay in the center of things, you can't really float. So I think the main drawback to Overwatch 2, apart from the awful launch that we've discovered, as we saw in my first Overwatch 2 livestream, they decided to jump on the bandwagon of the Battle Pass mechanic that a lot of games have been following, like Warzone. In it's free to play, obviously that's great for everyone, but to get all the nice features, the collectibles, you do have to buy the Battle Pass. So that currently is about £8, or if you want to buy the Battle Pass and 20 tier skips, I think that's about £16 there. So along the way you obviously do have free rewards if you don't want to pay, but to unlock all of them you do have to buy the premium Battle Pass. And in that first one, that Genji skin is definitely worth. Obviously coming me from Overwatch 1, I'm kind of fortunate that all those skins and gold weapons, collectibles, stuff like that have been transferred from game 1 to game 2, so happy about that. Also unfortunately I think the main reason people are annoyed with this Battle Pass is that they're adding their main kind of drag to the game for players, being the heroes. And for example in this Battle Pass they've put Kiriko at level 55 out of 80 in the Battle Pass, so if you are a new player you do have to grind all that way to be able to play that hero for the first time, which I think is a bit unfair. And if they do this in the future for old players, it will be quite annoying to needing to grind that much just to get a new hero. The biggest incentive in this game being the heroes doesn't feel right, and I think a lot of players would just prefer to pay their £40-50 or whatever the game would be just to get the full experience and not having to pay something monthly. Obviously in the long term this will make Blizzard more money, as but yeah, just hiding heroes behind a paywall is just, yeah, it just feels a bit money hungry, and it's the card we've been played unfortunately. All I can say is to make sure you do your weekly challenges to save up those coins so you don't have to spend as much. But yeah, overall I think I can't say much bad about Overwatch apart from that bit. I've been playing it. I'm not so happy about my rank though, so Blizzard, I'm coming for you. Overwatch 2 is a very different game that a lot of people need to get adjusted to, and I'm definitely planning to be playing it more and more. But yeah, overall I think Overwatch 2 has been a blast to play, and with the influx of new players finally coming back to the game with the launch of Overwatch 2, hopefully the rank system will balance out as well this week, because a lot of people will be finishing their 50 unranked games. But yeah, it's great to see a lot of new players coming in, and yeah, the free to play experience is part of that, you know, and because they made like that they want to get players in So hopefully that will make the game come alive again. But anyway, this is the end of this one. Let me know if you've played Overwatch 2, and if you haven't, make sure to give it a go. It's free to play, so you know, you might as well. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheerio!